So the big question is this: how do you lose all the weight that you want and actually keep it off for the rest of your life, while trying to make sense of all the noise that comes from the weight loss industry? That is the question. And this podcast will give you the answers.
G'day guys, and welcome to the next episode of the Weight Loss Secrets podcast. My name is Baron Grant and I'm wrapped to be with you for another episode, another tip, another trick, some sort of idea that's going to help you to be able to lose all the weight you want and keep that weight off for the rest of your life. That's what we're all about here. And if you need a bit more help on the journey, head to ditchingthediet.com and you can get in contact with me, shoot me a message, tee up a time for a chat on the phone, all that sort of fun stuff, and I can help you on your journey as well. So now today, I want to start off by saying something. I love pizza. I love pizza and I love Milo. Genuinely, pizza would be my favorite meal to eat. Now, that doesn't mean I get to eat it all the time. And that doesn't mean that I should eat it all the time, but doesn't change the fact that I enjoy it. I enjoy the process of it. I enjoy the texture of it. I enjoy the whole experience of having pizza, whether it be by myself or with my friends. Now, when I used to own my gym, I remember one time we had this trainer come in and teach us how to do a particular type of class. So I had group fitness instructors and personal trainers there. There was about 10 people in this group. And before he started the session, he went around the room and he said, tell me your favorite food, tell me your favorite food, tell me your favorite food. And 8 out of the 10, 80% of all these personal trainers who are supposed to be healthy, including me, right, supposed to be super healthy and da-da-da-da-da, what do you reckon their favorite food was? Pizza. So 8 out of 10, their favorite food was pizza. And I always found that fascinating, that I wasn't the only one. I wasn't the only personal trainer at that point who liked to eat pizza, right? Almost all of those personal trainers, their favorite food was pizza. Now, why do I say this? I say this because I do a lot of phone calls with people. Like I couldn't even tell you, thousands upon thousands. I do calls most days, all day, every day, with people who are trying to lose weight. And something I hear a lot of, which is the big concern for me, and one of the major reasons I think people are not losing weight, is they tell me how they like certain foods a lot, or they like certain experiences with food. All of that I'm going to bundle in sort of one thing today. So for example, I mentioned about pizza. That's my go-to. And by the way, Milo, I could eat Milo every day, but I'm not going to because it's not the super healthy thing to do every single day, right? But I talked to a lady just today about her wine experience in the evening. So she would drink 2 to 3 glasses of wine 5 days a week with her husband. And she loves it. She loves the experience of sitting down with her husband at the end of the day and having 2 or 3 wines. And that's become part of her lifestyle. And so when I told her that wasn't such a great idea, it wasn't that she was offended, but she was almost taken back of like, but I like that. Like that mattered. It doesn't really matter whether you like it or not. So, and then I could go through a variety of stories, but it could be, I've had other people who have said, I like to have a coffee with my husband or wife in the morning. Well, the first thing I do when I wake up, that's what I do. That's what I enjoy doing. Or certain people love eating rice. Certain people love eating pasta. Whatever the thing is that you might love doing, that's probably not going to be helpful on a weight loss journey. You probably need to stop it, right? Amongst other things that we might need to change to be able to lose weight. But my message today is simple. It doesn't matter what you like. Just let that sink in just for a minute. I think sometimes we like foods or like experience around food so much that we start to convince ourselves that it actually has some sort of extra meaning and that it's okay for us to do it now because we want it so much. It doesn't really matter. If I want to get bigger biceps, but I don't really like lifting weights, it's not going to miraculously happen just because I want it to. And it's the same on the flip side with our food. We may just really love eating certain foods, but if we eat those foods, no matter what our reason is, no matter who we're hanging out with or the associations we have with people and those foods, how much we care about it doesn't matter. If we eat those foods, no matter the situation, then we are not going to be losing any weight. That's just the reality. So back to the lady that I mentioned today, right? So the lady that I spoke to today, she was drinking, say, 3 glasses of wine. Now, one glass of red wine could be anywhere from 200 to 250 calories, depending on how big you pour that wine. But let's say it's even 200 calories, right? If you have 3 glasses of wine in an evening, and you have this lady only wanted to lose about 10 kilos, so she had a basal metabolic rate of around about 12 to 1300 calories a day. She's going to drink 600 calories in the evening. That is half of her daily intake of what her body actually needs. And if she wants to lose weight, she has to be underneath that 12 or 1300 calories a day. So can you see how quickly it builds up? But then what we do is we sometimes convince ourselves that, but it's meaningful and it's important. And so therefore it's okay. No, that's just not the case. That's not the case. So if we want to lose weight, it doesn't matter what we like. It only matters what our body needs. And too many times I talk to people and they have this emotional attachment to food. It's unnecessary and we don't need it, and we can absolutely change it. Food is fuel for our body. So if you want to be healthy, you have to stop liking what is getting you to the weight that you are and start liking the food that's going to get you the weight that you need to be or that you want to be. Sometimes we look at our food and we're like, but I really like this stuff. And it could even be healthy food, like avocado, right? So this is one I talk to about all the time. Avocado is not unhealthy. It's got great good fats in it and it's wonderful. But it's really dense in calories. So it's a really bad choice when you're trying to lose weight because you've got to reduce your calorie intake. But because it's healthy, people get into a situation and we go, I must eat it because it's got good fats, or I must have seeds because it's got good fats, or I must have nuts because of whatever reason. And we convince ourselves that we have to have these foods. So I want you to think about the way that you're living your life right now. Are you trying to convince yourself that you have to have these sort of foods, or that you have to have these certain experiences around food because that's just the way that you live? The food that we have doesn't change the company or the experience that we have. For example, if we're going to go out to, I'll give one example that's actually quite relevant to me right now. So myself and my wife went out to like a hot chocolate place down at a local supermarket with some friends of ours. And in that experience, I didn't have a hot chocolate. I can't remember. I don't think my wife did either, but I didn't have a hot chocolate. I got a water. And I got a little bit mocked and stuff, and that's okay. But I'm not a huge hot chocolate fan. Every once in a while, it's okay. But I didn't feel like it, and so I didn't have a hot chocolate. But I'll tell you what, my experience was exactly the same. It was completely irrelevant what I put in my mouth for the discussion that I was actually having. So now, if you're someone who loves a hot chocolate or who loves the ice cream, and you're going out to have those experiences with your friends, you might think that you actually need to have that ice cream, or because you want it so bad, it matters that you want it. It doesn't matter that you want it. So sometimes we've got to, just not have it. That same lady on the phone today said to me, but what if I have a carb craving? I'm like, yeah, so what if you have a carb craving? She says, yeah, but then how do I overcome it? I'm like, you don't eat the carbs. Like, you don't just eat the crap because you feel like having the crap. So just because we like something, just because we want something, doesn't mean we should have it. Sometimes I don't want to get up at 5 a.m. to do a workout, but if I want to get my workouts in every day, that's probably the best time to do it. And the days that I don't do it, which happens frequently, then I get frustrated because I don't get it in, but I can't whine to anybody but myself because I was the lazy one who didn't get out of bed. So we've got to make the decision about what we want more. What do we want more? And so in adding on from this discussion, this lady spoke to me about how, that she really enjoys that drink that she has with her husband at night, but she's drinking 2 or 3 wines every single night, and you really can't drink alcohol and lose weight. It's not very successfully, that's for sure. And when I said, you probably need to stop that, she was like, but I really enjoy it. And I said, well, that's okay. But you mentioned to me a little earlier in the call that you feel like you're lacking self-confidence, you feel uncomfortable in your clothes, you feel embarrassed to go out, you feel like you don't want to go anywhere because of how you're feeling about yourself. So it's okay what you choose to do, that's your call. But you've got to decide what you want most. And that all comes down to the reason of why we're doing things as well. So what do you want most? Do you want to remove those feelings of sadness and frustration and lack of confidence and replace them with more confidence, clothes are fitting, feeling good, feeling happy, feeling pumped about life because you've lost the weight and you're feeling healthy? Or do you want to have the experience of drinking the wine with your husband? That's the discussion and that's the decision. What is more important, A or B? And that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. What do you really want in your life right now? If you want to be healthy and you're not right now, and you're overweight and you're listening to this because you're trying to find ways to lose weight, I want you to think about how you got to where you are right now. And it's because of choices that you've made. I'm at where I'm at because of choices I've made. Everyone I know is at where they're at because of choices they've made. You're at where you're at because of choices you've made, whether it's good or whether it's bad, whether you're overweight or whether you're not. It's all because of choices that we've made in our lives. So the decision is, what do I really want? And am I really willing to forget about what I like to start eating what is best for me? Now, I promise, if you start to eat those foods that are really healthy, you'll start to like those foods way more that are really healthy and really good for you in losing weight. But until we dive into that, feet first, then we won't start to like it as much as what we possibly could. But we have to stop worrying about what we like. We have to stop worrying about the experiences that we've always had to get to this point, because all of that has added up to getting to where you're at right now, where you potentially, if you listen to this podcast, you're probably in a place where you want to make that change. So we can't do the same things and expect a different result. So we've got to shift our mindset a little bit to stop worrying about what we like and worry about what we need. One more little example is I always hear about people saying, but Baron, I just can't drink water. It's so boring. I have to have bubbles in my water. I'm like, that's super cool. If you want to have bubbles in your water, you can have some mineral water, but if you're so set on that you want soft drink and you must have it, that's okay. Just be happy with the weight that you are and stop worrying about it. That's cool too. Like if you're happy with where you're at, sweet, awesome, everyone's happy, move on. But if you're not happy, then you don't get to dictate the terms of the agreement for what the way to get it off. You've got to go by what actually happens physically in our body and make the changes that are necessary. Whether you like those things or whether you don't, it doesn't matter. So that's the message for today. Stop thinking about what you like and start thinking about what your body needs and start giving your body what it needs. When you do, the weight will come off. It's not easy because you have to be consistent, but it is simple. And that's what we want. It's a simple process, not easy. But if you're consistent, the weight will come off. You got this. Keep going, keep trying, keep learning, keep moving, keep drinking the water and eat the right food every day and you'll be able to get there. And if you need some help on the journey, hit me up. I'd love to help you on that journey as well. Have an awesome day, guys. Talk to you soon.